I spent the last 6 years tirelessly discovering, studying, absorbing the greatest garden information lost to man. My studies have brought me on an unending journey across wooded paths. I've gone back to speak with the likes of Luther Burbank, the man who created varieties like the Santa Rosa plum, the Burbank plum. I've learned from the groundskeeper of Babylon's hanging gardens, his vats of knowledge. After investing everything I have and still wanted to give more, the secret to gardening has been opened up to me. The doors of knowledge blown wide open. No longer will I waste my time with a tortoise-like pace of nature. I found the secret, the Rosetta Stone, garden tips. Because today I'm feeling charitable, and I know men like Luther Burbank would have wanted me to, I'm gonna share with you freely the product of my unending search for garden truth. This first tip is one I know you've never seen before, and I'll tell you that it works even before I do it. But just to prove it to you, I'll show you that it works. Let's take this head of lettuce, well, what used to be a head of lettuce. As you can see, what we did is, sometimes we have our lettuce and we make salads with them. We have that big bunch of lettuce, we cut the rest of it off and we're left with a little nub. Don't ever get rid of this little nub. This nub is the key to your future food. What you wanna do is take this, dig into the soil, so easy. You don't even have to dig into the soil, just take it, stick it in the ground, just toss it in there if you have to, walk away. We're gonna come back in 2 to 3 days and check on the progress of this. We'll probably have a beautiful head of lettuce, easy to grow. It's been just 3 days. Let's check on our lettuce. Can you believe it? It's incredible. Wow. What was just a nub a few days ago has turned into a beautiful head of lettuce. No seeds, no messing with dirty stuff to do all the work. All you gotta do is just cut it, set it, and forget it. If you thought that last tip was something, just be patient for what's coming up. These next 2 tips, honestly, they could be the difference between actual starvation and survival. Before I go ahead and give you those tips though, I just wanted to talk about how this video is sponsored by BS. And on BS website, you can find all different kinds of garden tools. You can find great tips. You can find tools, pointless garden tools. You can find little garden knickknacks, kinds of things that you buy, but they're too cheap to return, but they don't work anyway, so you gotta hold on to them, kind of just stuck with them. So we've got everything over at BS. Make sure you check out our website. My second garden tip of gold is one that I know you've been waiting for. I get it in the comments all the time. James, I've got groundhogs eating my plants, rabbits eating my plants. But today, that's gonna be no more. We're gonna essentially stick a fork in that problem. Let's get to it. Animals, especially cats, sometimes they seem to think that all of our hard work in the garden, it's just a big litter box. To keep them away and other things from pooping on your basil, strategically place a few plastic forks around your plants. What this will do is actually deter them and make it super dangerous for you or anyone else that comes to visit your garden. Will it keep the animals away? Probably not, but at least we'll keep your cats from pooping on your basil. Having some rabbits and stuff eating a few of my vegetables, I just can't take that. I'd rather just come through and stick plastic forks around all my food. This, I think, is gonna be the best solution. Look at that. As you can see, this is keeping them completely away from all the vegetables. This garden is now 100% safe. My third and final ultimate gardening tip carries actually a warning. If you thought the last one was dangerous, sticking forks right side up, and you're lactose intolerant, well, this is yours and a garden pest's worst nightmare, the power of milk. Sometimes you just don't have the garden success. You put the mulch down, you got the right varieties, you've been guiding the plants, doing everything you can. People ask me what to do. My one blanketed response to that would be, duh, pour some milk on it. That's what we're gonna do. Milk's got nitrogen in it. Is that bioavailable? I don't know. Milk also has a lot of other nutrients and stuff, I think. When we pasteurize and cook all the milk, are we cooking everything out? I don't know. Just pour some milk on it. That's what the garden tips websites say. Just dump some milk on it. One thing with this is it could get pricey, so you want to really invest in one plant because the milk is going to do the trick. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, this one was a lot different than what we usually do, but I had a really good time making it. And there's an underlying kind of point that I want to make known, mainly that you cannot cheat nature. I'm not saying gardening tips are wrong. I love gardening tips, just ones that align with nature, like the ones I shared you about planting radishes with carrots, things that help space it out, things that work. I think too often, someone will come up with this fascinating idea and they'll share it on a website and it'll be like a tip, but it doesn't even necessarily work. And then someone sees that, it's eye-catching, and then they share that too. So we're just constantly sharing this information that actually doesn't align with nature, that won't work, and I think is just discouraging people in the long run. So I wanted to try to bring a little bit of light to that, but also have some fun with it. And we'll be back at you guys real soon with another video, back to what we usually do. Tuck got some milk in the face. It was funny, but we had a good time. Until the next one, guys, James Prigioni and Tuck, we out.